I am so excited because I'm going to encourage Michele Bachmann to run against Amy Klobuchar for Senate in 4 years, because we have got to get rid of Amy Klobuchar. And in fact, we're lucky because joining us right now is Michele Bachmann, who does absolutely amazing work for us. And by the way, I can't wait for Michele Bachmann to tell us about her Chris Horner event. Listeners will remember Chris Horner was a guest on my show a few months back. Chris Horner is the author of Red Hot Lies, knows everything about global warming, and Michele Bachmann wants to make sure we are armed and dangerous with the facts on global warming. Michele Bachmann, Congresswoman, welcome to the show.
Sue Jeffers, thank you for inviting me to be on your show on KTLK. Thank you so much.
We're always glad. I just want you to know you have an open invitation anytime you want to come. I cannot thank you for all the hard work that you do for us. Do you know?
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you, I feel like I have a front row seat on history right now. I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is our country. We love our country, and I'm watching our freedom slip out the door every day. Just this week with the G20 and what President Obama is wanting to do to cede American sovereignty to transnational global authorities makes your head spin. And we as members of Congress have to bind him down with that authority. We cannot agree to these kind of things that he's wanting to do, because it will just continue to take away freedom from individuals in the United States. And this is the AmeriCorps Act. And he is
will you explain that to the listener so that they understand what it is too?
Sure. It's under the guise of, quote, volunteerism, but it's not volunteers at all. It's paying people to do work on behalf of government. We had about 75,000 people involved in AmeriCorps before. This adds another 250,000 people, so more government employees. But what's even more concerning about it is his focus is on young people. The original language of the bill was mandatory service for government. Right now, the language is voluntary, but just this last week, a Democrat colleague introduced a bill to make this mandatory. I believe when it's all said and done, this service, that I believe that there's a very strong chance that we will see that young people will be put into mandatory service. And the real concern is that there are provisions for what I would call re-education camps for young people, where young people have to go and get trained in a philosophy that the government puts forward, and then they have to go and work in some of these politically correct forums. So it's very concerning. It appears that there's a philosophical agenda behind all of this, and especially if young people are mandated to go into this. As a parent, I would have a very, very difficult time seeing my children do this. Again, a huge power grab, and it's at a cost of billions of dollars.
You know what, Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, there's no way I'm sending my kids to propaganda camp. Absolutely not. Could I have you hold? We need to take a quick break. Congresswoman Bachmann, it's absolutely driving me crazy. Everything from the budget to S-CHIP to the DREAM Act to the energy stuff, the education stuff. It just never seems to end.
Well, it is a dream come true for people who want to transform our country away from a free market economy and toward a centralized government-planned economy. It's completely different and antithetical from what our founders gave us. And I think people should be shocked. They should be stunned at not only what is happening, but the speed with which it's happening, and in particular, what's happening this week in the G20 and the transnational aspects of what our president is committing our nation to. We need to wake up quick and make sure that we let our representatives know and register our displeasure with what they're doing before we lose even more. The biggest kicker of all will be this global warming tax that President Obama has planned for everyone. Some people call it the light switch tax, because every time you use something that has a component of energy attached to it, which is everything that's produced in America, nothing produced in America doesn't in some way have energy attached to it, we will be paying an invisible additional tax, so much so that Mr. Chris Horner, who's coming to speak to us, said that we'll see a dramatic reduction in the American standard of living if this tax goes into effect. That's why you have such an intelligent audience, and it's crucial that your audience come out and hear what Mr. Chris Horner has to say, because we do want people armed with knowledge so they can be dangerous to the policies of the left.